Tips with Tony. Tips with Tony. All about nutrition from your favorite dietitian. Everything you need to digest in your mind. Tips with Tony. Tips with Tony. Making you healthier one bite at a time. With Tony. Woo.
Hello and welcome to the Tips with Tony podcast. I'm Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time. If you haven't heard, there's been a lot of uproar in the diet culture community, the anti-diet culture community, I should say, because Lizzo, she's an American artist. I don't know if you don't know who Lizzo is, you have to know who Lizzo is. She's really, she's made her mark in this world as a singer and an artist, but also as someone who promotes body positivity. She loves her curves and she's not ashamed of them. And she's someone who really just promotes and shares to love your body. And she has a huge outreach and influence on others. And it was really surprising to hear. I had come across her story because I follow her story on Instagram. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. She's doing a smoothie detox. And I was a little bit kind of confused because, listen, and here's this crazy part is my initial reaction is is she doing this to try to lose weight? And here's the thing, you can love your body and also want to change it. So if she was, that would have been okay, except the messaging and the people that follow her, I'm not sure it was going to come across that way. So anyways, I did some more research and then I started noticing other registered dietitians and influencers kind of going at her and being like, why would you do that? And then I finally started seeing some other people kind of speak up and be like, don't get mad at Lizzo, get mad at diet culture, for promoting and believing that a smoothie detox is going to really cure all your problems. But, whenever I'm kind of noticing that there's a shift in energy and conversation and there's anger, frustration, and kind of confusion and attacks. And, I do my research, especially as a registered dietitian who, believes in body positivity and more so body neutrality. I couldn't stay silent about this. One thing I did stay silent about a few months ago was when Adele, the singer, she had lost a lot of weight doing that Cert Foods diet. And I didn't talk about it because, listen, it's just another fad diet. There's nothing special about it. But at the end of the day, she's going to do what she does for herself and she needs to do what she does for you. And so yes, these people, these celebrities have a lot of influence and power, but it's their bodies and also they're human. They're just like you and I. They have the same thoughts and emotions. They live in the same world where, diet culture really can attack and take advantage of your weak points and really just feed lies to you. It's not their fault. That's what they did. And they both experiences actually found some positive lessons in there. So I wanted to talk about it in probably a different perspective than what you've heard or saw, and kind of just talking about how, listen, when I did my research, I found out that Lizzo actually wasn't doing it for weight loss. And she herself was even ashamed to talk about, herself doing this smoothie detox. It was a 10-day smoothie detox. And she was even ashamed to talk about it because she knows that, people look up to her and will probably just assume that she's doing it for weight loss. And I was guilty of that, to be honest, just because also just most people that I know who choose to do that are doing it for weight loss. Even when they say they're not, they are, because it's so kind of just deep rooted in us. And we've been told for so many years that, weight loss equals healthy, which it doesn't, by the way. So I was guilty of that. But when I did my research, I found out that she said that, she was really, really stressed out in the month of November. She was drinking a lot. She was eating a lot of fried foods. She had a lot of heartburn. She was super stressed, super tired. She just wasn't really taking care of her body. And it sounds like she wasn't doing it in like a pretty extreme way, right? She kind of just was fed up, tired, frustrated. I mean, who wouldn't be in 2020 and the pandemic when her career was blowing up? She like just got started, and then the pandemic put a huge hold on that, so that, for her tours and all that stuff. So I can't even imagine. And I don't even know her. Like, that's like just from the outside. I'm sure she has real life, real shit, excuse my French, going on. So like, whatever. That's how how she chose to deal with her stress at the time. So I know that she didn't need to go to an extreme, like doing a 10-day smoothie detox to get the same results that she felt. So what she shares, and I actually posted this video, I shared her video, and I did like a split duet TikTok with it. And I kind of showed her perception of what she did. And then I kind of put my kind of 2 cents in and kind of made some comments about it. But anyway, so she goes on to share kind of how she started seeing the whites in her eyes again. Her skin was better. She was more hydrated. She was sleeping better. She was feeling awesome. And that's great. But really, she was taking care of herself. Like she needed to change. She decided she was going to do something, and then she did it. And, if you go from, drinking excessive amounts of alcohol, which causes severe dehydration, eating loads and loads of fried foods, which obviously isn't going to feel good because it's going to cause heartburn, being stressed out and not really choosing to take healthy outlets to utilize it, like you are going to not feel good. And so obviously anything you do after that is going to feel better. So did she need to do a 10-day smoothie detox to help get these results of like feeling good and energized and, in charge of her body and herself? Like, no. One thing that we could agree is that if she just started drinking more water, eating more vegetables, put limits on the fried food, she didn't need to eliminate them completely, maybe engaged in more movement and did some grounding work and meditation and like just healthy outlets for stress management, she probably would have gotten the same results. But here's the difference. We know, I don't know if I know at least, that the approach that I would have taken with her, kind of those small changes, drinking more water, eating more vegetables, limiting fried foods, movement, all that stuff, those are easier to keep doing, right? Whereas a 10-day detox, it already has an endpoint to it. It's very extreme. It's not healthy overall in the long term. And it's not going to get her to ultimately deal with the core issues that she is probably dealing with, okay? But at the same time, she needed something to take her out of that slump. So I hope that through this experience, she's now learned that she needs to prioritize self-care. And, I'm sure within that, maybe she did some other she mentioned something about like her just feeling like more kind of grounded and spiritual and all that. So like, I'm sure that there was components to it, that it wasn't just the smoothie detox. Okay. Now, I also want to just say that the term detox is misused a lot, really. So the term detox, or needing to cleanse your body has natural capabilities of being able to do that for you. Your liver, your kidneys, your lungs, there's so many, even our skin, there's so many components to us that naturally do that for us. However, if you're abusing your body and you're not taking care of your body, then those things are not going to work at the best of its ability. So we do need to engage in healthy eating habits and behaviors to support them so that we don't take advantage of their healthy function, and then eventually they start dysfunctioning, and then we would need to take certain supplements or work with literally like take medication, do things to really kind of help them to work. We don't want to take advantage of that, right? So we don't need the extremes, right? but we do need to take care of ourselves, So I'm going to release another episode, the next episode. So I believe this is coming out on Christmas Day, which I didn't do this on purpose, but I'm hoping that maybe you listen to this the day after Christmas. I'm hoping you're not listening to it on Christmas, unless maybe, you go for a walk or something. But I want you to be spending time with those that you love. But if you are, maybe you're not able to because of COVID and everything. So if you're listening to this, I want to just say that if you overate this holiday season, if you're listening to this the day after Christmas and you're like really just are upset with yourself by maybe how much you drank and ate yesterday, and you're thinking about doing a smoothie detox or a cleanse, it's probably not going to help with the root of the issue, okay? And as much as I want to save you from the quote unquote waste of time, it might not be a waste of time, because as long as you learn from it, then it's really never a waste of your time, okay? And as much as I want to kind of protect you from the damage that a lot of these fad diets, juice cleanses, detox, and even certain supplement companies can really kind of project onto you and sometimes make the situation worse before they make it better, there are the rare occurrences that it can at least help kind of motivate you, inspire you, and, put you on a healthier path of balance. And I can't rob you of that experience. I personally had to go through all of those things to get to where I am today, right? However, if I could save you from if you've already done a juice cleanse or a detox and a fad diet and you kind of come back up with the same results, then I'm going to maybe just have you trust and just believe that doing it again is probably not going to give you a different result. All right, so I'm going to leave it at that. But in the next episode, I'm going to share with you 10 things that you can do when your diet, quote unquote, fails. So if your diet fails, or you do a juice cleanse, or you do a detox, or, you try this new trendy, maybe try intermittent fasting, I don't know, whatever you do, I want you to know that there's a lesson in that. And I want to help you get the lesson. So stay tuned for the episode I'm dropping next week so you can learn more about what to do when your diet, quote unquote, fails. All right, guys, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this episode, definitely take a screenshot of it, share it on your story, tag me at tips_with_Tony. That's Tony with an I, or the Tips with Tony podcast. Share it with a friend. Do whatever you want with this. If you loved it, write a review. Let me know your feedback. I'd be so happy to hear from you. You can email me, tipswithtony@gmail.com. All right, guys, talk to you on the next one. This is Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time.